Please watch as we model the 6 easy steps of the Onyfix application. Step 1. Nail preparation. Lightly roughen the surface of the nail with a diamond burr. Step 2. Use rubbing alcohol to wipe away the dust and debris for a clean working surface. Step 3. Take your primer and put 1 drop in the lid to prepare the nail. It does this by dehydrating the nail, allowing the Onyfix resin to bond more securely. Use a clean cotton swab to gather the primer from the lid. And apply the primer over the entire nail and nail bed, making sure to include the sulci and the grooves. Remember, you only need 1 drop. Too much primer can leave the nail moist and be detrimental to the bonding process. Step 4. Cure the primer with your Onyfix light for 30 seconds. Don't touch the nail with the light, but get as close as you can. Remember, this light is not harmful, so neither you nor your patient needs to wear glasses. Step 5. The composite application. Here's an example of a hard Onyfix application following your nail preparation steps. The Onyfix Hard comes in a twist tube. Each turn of the cap is 1 millimeter of product and approximately enough for 1 Onyfix strip. If the nail is large, you can do a turn and a half to make sure you have enough product and just discard any extra product should you have any. You will notice the consistency of the Onyfix Hard is comparable to that of a putty. As it should be stored in a cool place, you need to work with it a little on the toenail to warm it up before you form it into a strip. After getting the desired amount out of the tube, use your Onyfix spatula to place the product on the nail. It's very important to remember to not touch the skin during this stage, as the oils in the skin can disrupt the bonding process. Allow the Onyfix to warm by gently folding it back and forth until it feels pliable enough to easily form a strip. Slowly start to place your strip as proximally or as close to the matrix as possible, running as far medially and laterally as you can without touching the skin. You can taper the sides slightly to help it conform better. As you can see, the application is quite easy once you get a feel for it. And in fact, the studies show most practitioners can effectively do a proper application in under 6 minutes. This is very convenient as it makes it such an easy addition to an already existing appointment. Remember, the finished Onyfix strip should be 2 millimeters high by 2 millimeters wide. Use the body of your Q-tip for reference before you harden. Step 6. Cure the Onyfix resin for 60 seconds with your Onyfix light. Use your ceramic burr to smooth the hardened Onyfix strip for a smooth and professional finish that won't catch. You cannot use a diamond burr as the Onyfix compound will clog the pores and the burr will not be able to be sterilized properly. We will now demonstrate the application of the soft Onyfix strip. You can do this following the nail preparation steps already discussed. Your Onyfix kit comes with single-use cannulas to use with the soft Onyfix product. As you can see, it has a push tube style syringe applicator as opposed to the twist tube style of the hard Onyfix applicator. This is because the soft product has a runnier, more glue-like consistency. Start by priming the cannula until the product is at the surface of the cannula. It is important for you to remember to pull back on the syringe following the procedure and before you discard the cannula to not waste the product that was primed. Apply the product to the nail in a smooth strip. Remember to not touch the skin in any way. You can then use your spatula to shape and place the product in your proximal 2 millimeter by 2 millimeter strip. It generally requires less shaping with the soft product than the hard because of the lighter consistency. It is important to note that although the consistencies of the Onyfix soft and hard resins are different, it is the same product. Neuberg has supplied different textures as a courtesy for the practitioners for easier application to the different issues. For example, the hard Onyfix is typically used on the hallux or strong deformations, while the application of the soft is much easier for smaller, thin, brittle, and chipped nails. When necessary, and we will demonstrate, 2 layers of the soft composite is equivalent strength-wise to one of the hard. You can now cure your Onyfix application with your Ony-Lux Light for 60 seconds. Here we are demonstrating the application of a second layer of soft Onyfix. You apply the second layer immediately after curing the first with your light. This would be done to strengthen the soft Onyfix on a strong deformation. Use your Ony-Lux Light to cure the soft compound for another 60 seconds. This is an example of how to apply the distal half strip for those acute patients after following the proper nail preparation steps previously discussed. After removing an ingrown nail or spicule, cleanse the area properly. Place a moist, sterile 2x2 under the affected distal corner. Remember, if body fluids or oils from the skin come in contact during the application process, it is unlikely the Onyfix will adhere properly. If there is an active infection, it would probably be best to have your patient return for the treatment after a few days of antibiotic therapy. If this is not an issue, this technique will cause a slight lift to the affected area, giving your patients immediate pain relief as the pressure is reduced from the swollen tissues under the nail. Keep in mind this distal application will only stay in place for a few days as the distal part of the nail is more unstable, but even that short period of time will relieve the acute pain of the moment, while the proximal strip you will also place will begin to slowly correct the long-term involution, likely the cause of the problem. Cure the Onyfix resin for 60 seconds with your Ony-Lux Light. The Onyfix removal. Should you decide to remove the Onyfix before it naturally falls off, simply take a set of splitters and gently snip at the edge of the strip. It comes off very easily. Use your ceramic burr to smooth any remaining product. As you can see, it is a very simple and, again, pain-free procedure.